A long time ago I was called to a high-end lawyer's home to pick up a retainer. With the lawyer was a judge. "Steve, I have this client who pistol-whipped his wife, took her car, and left her unconscious on the road. Caught with the weapon and car, the client wants to know how much it will cost for him to do no jail time. So he told me that he wanted a new TR6 sports car and a Mediterranean cruise for two. The judge here let him walk on a technicality. The judge looked me in the eyes and laughed. I took his money but never spoke to him again."
Vote for me, for your loved ones and all your family. Can't you see how it could be? Vote for me, for the children and the old folks. Can't you see?
Ask not
How
what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
I'll put more bobbies on the beats. I'll make it safe to walk the streets. I'll do everything I can just to help my fellow man.
And I think this march will go down as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, demonstrations for freedom and human dignity.
Vote for me. I'm gonna pave the city streets with gold, you see. You wait and see how it could be. Vote for me. I'll bring peace across this world. You wait and see.
The greatest challenge of creativity,
How
as I see it, lies ahead.
How it could be. You'll never
Can be
have
forgotten.
it quite.
Nobody gets to opt out.
so
Nobody
good.
gets to live beyond the reach of the law. Justice, prosperity, social progress, all of this is possible only if, first and foremost, the rules of the game are consistent and stable and equitable and fair.
You can't forget about your cares. You'll all be millionaires.
That means we have to do everything we can in Ontario to make sure that the disenfranchised and the poor and the vulnerable portions of our population are protected under the same law as applies to everyone else, and that they have equitable access to justice.
And I'm going to have to let it leak that you had this information all along. Knew who the rats were and failed to alert anyone.
Just as no one can be allowed to fall beneath the law, no one can also presume themselves to be above the law. No matter the grievance, ladies and gentlemen, no matter the grievance, no matter the dispute, all of our laws, every single one of them, apply to all of us equally at all times, without exception, unless that exception is specifically written into the law. The law must apply to everyone at all times. We cannot allow a system to arise where there are more than one set of laws for different act as if they can disregard the rules and the laws the rest of us are expected to follow. I believe we also have to do a much better job fighting white-collar crime. White-collar criminals cannot think they are beyond the law either.
My name is Stephen Jones, and for over a decade I have fought in vain to bring to justice Janet Ecker and Ernie Eves for the patch and cover-up of a major welfare fraud by a political campaign contributor of theirs, the law firm of Iacono and Brown, the alleged perpetrator, Edmund Kent. The conservatives' Janet Ecker had tape proof of the fraud, along with a notary witness, in which failure to act on the allegations by law is illegal under the charges of false return by public officer, a serious offense. Now, over the last decade, the cover-up has extended to a who's who of the powerful. Not only Eckert and Eves, but Charles Harnack, Michael Bryant, John Tory, and 14 others. But the most detestable was Conservative MP Steve Gilchrist, who looked me in the eyes and said, "I give you my word of honor that I will get to the bottom of all your allegations," then went into hiding. The latest hands-on Teflon Don of the whitewash is Tim Hudak, or to be fair, his executive assistant, Tricia Renard.
Must be prepared at all times to vigorously pursue new tools and new measures to ensure that all parties at all times comply with the rule of law.
My policies
and change to clean up the government and eliminate the waste and the fraud and the secret deals. And finally, a Tim Hudak government will restore the fundamental Canadian principle, one law for all.
I'll bleed you and I'll bleed you till you're dry. Can't you see?
And that threatens law-abiding citizens with this message. Gangs rule here, and there's nothing the authorities can do. If you would trust me with the government of Ontario, those who fight the law will find the law won.
But the problem is, there are too many people now who are taking advantage of the rest of us. It seems like the rights of criminals are coming ahead of those who play by the rules and obey the laws. That's wrong. We're going to stand up and get behind victims of crime instead of putting the criminals.
So let the good times roll.
It's a new world with new rules, which is, there are no rules.